The Iranian government today cut off cooperation with inspectors from the United Nations Nuclear Energy Agency.
Earlier this week, the Iranian foreign minister stated that the safety of the agency's inspectors could not be guaranteed after the facilities were attacked by Israel and the United States.
The United Nations made a final decision and ordered the immediate withdrawal of its inspectors from Iran. The red alert was triggered after Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's regime unilaterally suspended the agreement with the International Atomic Energy Agency, paving the way for the advancement of a nuclear program that had already been considered ended after the American attacks. With the departure of international inspectors, Iran gains complete freedom to develop its atomic arsenal away from the eyes of the world. The extreme measure taken by Iran is seen by military analysts as Tehran's first concrete step toward building an atomic bomb. And in the context of the Middle East, any small incident can be the spark for a war. Welcome to Life in the Barracks. Israel and the United States had already shown their strength by bombing strategic facilities in Iranian territory. Even so, Iran did not back down and reiterated that part of its nuclear project is still standing and that uranium enrichment is ongoing. The response was a veiled threat. Abbas Araghchi, the Iranian foreign minister, stated that the country remains in the nuclear non-proliferation treaty, but that from now on, all communication with the United Nations will be conducted through the Supreme National Security Council, a body directly controlled by Ayatollah Khamenei. The departure of United Nations inspectors from Iran is not just a diplomatic move. It's a sign that not even the United Nations believes in any guarantee of peace coming from Tehran anymore. The situation worsened even further when Iran decided to retaliate against the American attacks with an offensive against a United States base in Qatar. Although the impact was minimal, this Iranian attack was announced in advance, which allowed United States troops to prepare and avoid casualties. The message was more political than military, but it reinforced the tension between the countries involved. The confrontation is not only military, it is also a war of narratives and emotional control. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, who holds supreme control over the armed forces and the fate of the country, remains hidden. According to intelligence sources, he has started living in underground shelters and has stopped making public appearances. This has only increased rumors that something bigger is coming. With his supreme authority and absolute control of the regime, Khamenei has become Israel's #1 target. Israeli newspapers report that Mossad is conducting intelligence operations to locate the Iranian leader, which would explain his disappearance from cameras and public events. Even under pressure, Iran does not back down. On the contrary, it accelerates its weapons production. It is estimated that more than 4,000 drones are already in operation by Iranian forces, ready for surveillance and possible precision attacks. They are eyes in the sky, watching over Iranian territory and external threats. Israeli intelligence fears that these drones are being prepared for a large coordinated attack against its territory. The concern grew after Iran began moving its underground missiles, one of the largest arsenals in the Middle East. Intelligence services estimate that Iran has about 3,000 missiles of different types and ranges. They are believed to be hidden in tunnels and fortified shelters, ready to be launched at any moment against strategic targets. Since the beginning of the new wave of attacks, about 370 missiles have already been fired by Iran, according to Israeli data. This represents a significant loss, around 20% of their stockpile, but it makes it clear that their retaliatory capability is still frightening. The great fear is that now, without international oversight, Iran will use its nuclear resources to equip these missiles with more destructive warheads. If this happens, the balance of power in the Middle East could be irreversibly broken. The United States continues to stand by Israel, reinforcing military bases in the region and deploying anti-missile systems in the Persian Gulf. The goal is to prevent an Iranian surprise and respond quickly to any real threat. The United Nations, by withdrawing its members from Iran, signaled to the world that it is preparing for the worst.
Only time will tell now the consequences of this break with the United Nations agency, which plays a crucial role in the non-proliferation of nuclear weapons.
The absence of international observers leaves the field open for military and nuclear actions to take place out of public knowledge. This is the first time in decades that the United Nations has completely abandoned a country with active nuclear potential. The measure is seen as extreme and reveals that diplomacy may have completely failed. Israel, in turn, continues to seek global support to isolate Iran. With full backing from the Americans, the country is strengthening its defensive shields and keeping F-35 fighter jets on high alert for a possible offensive mission. Amid global chaos, on July 2nd, congressmen and senators from the allied base of the Brazilian government invited Rabbi Yisroel David Weiss to speak at the Chamber of Deputies, where the rabbi advocated for the end of the State of Israel, describing it as the embodiment of anti-Semitism. The speech sparked an intense debate among parliamentarians and the public, especially due to the Brazilian people's discontent at hearing such a statement. Brazil should promote peace without getting involved in conflicts to support extremist sides, because by taking the wrong side, it could attract the attention of groups that might consider Brazil a target for attacks. Life in the barracks keeps you updated on all things military. Leave your like, subscribe, and watch one of the videos appearing on your screen. Forward fighters, see you next time.